Welcome to another episode, everyone. I just want to briefly, I say briefly, we'll see how it goes, address Big Tony, cartoon, formerly Cartoon 553. His channel is Foundation Nation. Bobby Ye, PJ Watts Crip, and Spider Lok. Bobby Ye and Spider Lok ran some content and they were discussing the 50-50 yard or what have you. They was reacting to each other's video. I couldn't really figure out exactly what was going on. I saw it on Bobby Ye's channel. And, Spider Lok had essentially alluded to the fact that, I had said one thing about the 50-50 yard and basically was saying something else now. And Bobby Ye was saying, yelling at the computer, yelling at the screen, essentially that I need to stand on business. Now, he's going at it with cartoons, so I wasn't really sure if he was talking about me at that point, at that time, but I believe so. That he was saying that, we need to stand on business. A 50-50 yard is bad. How we going to respect OGs, supposed to be leaders, what I'm saying, when you can't even keep it real and stand on business and this and that. So I just want to say, bro, that I stand on business. I stood on business on the level 4 yard. I got to the level 4 yard in 1999. I was 25 years old. I went to the worst level 4 yard in California at the time, and more than likely still is, that being High Desert State Prison, the most violent level 4 in the state of California, and I was 25 years old, having to learn and navigate prison politics and level 4 prison politics in real time. Because there's nowhere to run and hide on the prison yard. On the streets, individuals are doing certain things and they can get away with it, come to the hood and get a DP. Just don't show up to the hood. You can move out of state, you can move out of town, you can move to another country when the heat is on you. But there on the level 4 yard, you can't move or run anywhere. You have to stand on business or you are done. I've seen some of the strongest individuals, the most reputable dudes, get ran off of these yards in the most vicious of ways. I did essentially 25 years on a level 4 yard. 25. Most of it on a level 4 180 yard. As I've explained on the channel before, you have a level 4 180 and you have a level 4 270 yard. The 180 being the most volatile, the most violent, although both of them are extremely violent and political. And I have no smut on my name. I walked these yards level 4 for over 25 years and made it through without getting stabbed, DP'd, beat up, smutted out in some way or another. Called shots in some of these situations for some very admirable killers who still listened to what I had to say, knowing that I had their back, that I would die for them there on the yard. I don't believe that Spider Lok, Bobby Ye, perhaps even Big Tony has ever been to a level 4. Big Tony perhaps has been to a level 4 because I do recall him saying that he had not been in prison since the 80s. But then he said that he was in Pelican Bay in 96, so perhaps he went to the prison in the 80s and paroled in 96. But if he was in Pelican Bay, more likely he was there on a level 4 yard for a little while at least. So perhaps Big Tony has been on level 4, I'm not sure. But Spider Lok got out of prison, as he said, in 1999. We were together in Centinela State Prison in 1998, me and Spider Lok, on DR in Centinela State Prison. And must have been when he got out from there in 1999, he paroled and has never been back to prison. So he hasn't been to a level 4. He wasn't on a level 4 before he got to Centinela. Bobby Ye, I don't think has ever been to a level 4 prison. He's yelling at the screen. I go to a level 4, Bobby Ye. I go to a level 4. I'm staying stumped down. I'm hitting the main line. I ain't leaving my comrades behind. I've heard so many people say what they will do on a level 4. The reason I'm done with this conversation, and I know that I said that I'm done with it, and I apologize to my viewers for carrying it on. I'm certainly done after this. I just needed to get this out of my system. Because I can't go back and forth with individuals who've never been to a level 4 yard, talking about what they would do if they hit the level 4 yard. I hear you. I've heard it all before. Again, I've seen some of the most reputable, active, stomped down individuals get stomped out and ran off the yard. Head stomped in and ran off the yard. Tattoos everywhere. Well respected in their section. Stomped out, stabbed up, and ran off the yard. So I can't go back and forth with someone who doesn't know the level 4 politics, who's just surmising what it is really like in there, who never stomped down on those yards, telling me to stand on it. Bro, stand on it. I did stand on it when no one was looking, when it counted. You talking about some internet stuff, thinking I changed my story on the internet. I'm not about to be going back and forth about this 50-50 yard and level 4 yard as if I'm on here defending myself like I was on a 50-50 yard or something. I got to defend myself. I paroled from a level 4. Shit, damn the internet. I don't have to defend myself. I'm just talking about prison politics. Don't come at it or come at me as if I'm not standing on business because of something I may have said that you don't like. You feel like I was defending an individual, or perhaps I changed my story. I have not. My position has not changed. My track record speaks for itself what my position is on these yards. My position is you're supposed to walk the level 4 yard. Well, how do we know that that's your position? Oh, well, because he walked the level 4 yard for 25 years, a quarter of a century. He lived it. That's how we know. Stand on business. Been standing on business when it really counts. Damn the internet. Talking about what will happen if you were ever on level 4. Telling someone that who's actually been there for 25 years. Man, this don't make any sense. This is why I'm done with this conversation. Not about to be going back with some individuals who never been on that yard. I shed blood, sweat, and tears on those yards. It was not easy, bro. It would have been much easier to tap out and say, man, this is too much. I'm good. After 5 years of this, or 6 years, I'm cool. Many people were doing it, bro. Get me out of here. They made it all the way up to that point and then just tapped out. Had enough of these politics on these yards. This is crazy. One wrong move, you're cooked. The police can't escort you off the yard. You think you're getting away? They'll run up on you while the police are escorting you and down you. There is no escape. The only escape is that you comport yourself in the way that you're supposed to. That you respect everyone and you take care of your business. How do I know this? Because I lived it for 25 years. I don't want to hear somebody talking about what they would do on that yard. Because you don't really know if you haven't been there yet. I certainly don't know. As I've said, I've seen the toughest bite the dust. So I just, again, we're saying as if I changed my story and like I need to stand on business. I didn't really perceive that well because I've been standing on business. I stood on business. These are individuals again, who never walked the yard, telling me as if I got to be on here explaining myself about a 50-50 yard. I ain't got to, bro, I walked the yard for a quarter. Stomp down. Ask around. And Big Tony, he has made some comments in one of his videos saying that, oh, now y'all want to listen to Damion Porter. I know he's y'all hero. He's a hero. And he said it seemed like it was personal with me and his stepson, this and that. And so I just want to say to Big Tony, it was not personal. And I am no one's hero. I just try to give my viewers the raw truth. That's it. As I know it to be, bro. As I've lived it. I'm not some tough guy. I'm not bigger or better than anyone else. I'm really not. I don't try to portray myself to be. I bleed like everyone else. I realized that when I got hit with that 12 gauge shot when I was 12 years old, that I bleed like everyone else. Got that at an early age, a rude awakening. And I'm not going to go back and forth with Big Tony or anyone else, Bobby Ye or Spider Lok. So, Big Tony, I respect Big Tony, actually, as an OG, as my OG even. This is how I was trained. This is what I was taught. This is what is ingrained in me. This is my disposition. This is what I believe. That if an individual stood 10 toes down in his situations, then he has earned my respect. I don't care where you're from. You can be from rolling 60s. If you're an OG from over there who stood 10 toes down, because every hood is treacherous. Every hood is dangerous. Not just mine. So if you stood up in your hood, you stood up on those yards, then I'm going to take my hat off to you and respect you as an OG and as a big homie. Big Tony is 62 years old. I'm 52. I would consider him my big homie. I haven't heard any smut on him doing anything wrong. He bowed out of the game with a clean record, which is what we all can hope for. He said, I'm done game banging, but not because I just snitched on these individuals. All these individuals get to debriefing and all this, and they're done with the gangs and all this because they're debriefing. And that's what I've said before on the channel. Man, if you're going to be done with it, just be done with it. But you ain't got to tell on everyone. You got to snitch on the whole operation, what's going on in this game, because you were just a part of this. You're done, just bow out, get out of there, but you ain't got to throw everyone else under the bus. And in the same way that you will hear individuals refer to a former coach as coach. When you hear individuals talk to Jimmy Johnson, the former Dallas Cowboys head coach, they don't refer to him as Jimmy. They don't say, hey, what's up, Johnson? People say, hey, what's up, coach? Because you still get that respect even 50 years later because you were once a coach. When they talk to President Obama, you would never hear someone address him as, what's up, Obama, or what's up, Barack. You forget that's even his name, Barack, because he's going to be referred to as Mr. President, even though he hasn't been the president in 10 years. When you talk to Bill Clinton, he's going to be referred to as, how you doing, Mr. President, even though he's not the president anymore, because he's still going to wear that honor and get that respect. There's no different with me, and it's no different in the culture. It should not be. You were once a general, once an OG, a strong individual. I'm still going to refer to you as an OG and respect you as that, even though you're no longer a part of that. So I respect Big Tony and have nothing against him. I don't have a bad word to say about that brother. And not going to go back and forth with him on the internet. I don't believe he's trying to do that either. But he had just made a couple of comments, about the situation. But I understand, as I said, I get it, bro. I'm not perfect, and my content is not perfect either. I make mistakes as well sometimes, but my heart is always in the right place. So I respect you, Big Tony. Just want to say that, bro. And Spider Lok, I respect as well. I know there's a lot of internet stuff going on with Spider Lok, YouTube stuff. People have been talking bad about Spider Lok for some months now, a year or two, whatever. Some individuals, whatever. I've never gotten involved in that because I know Spider Lok. We were on the yard together, as I said, before I hit High Desert, hit that level 4 yard in 1999. I was there with Spider in 1998 on a level 3 yard in Centinela. Spider had some squabbles. Told you about one of them. He had more than that. More than that one that I told you about. He was getting in the sack, so was I. He was making his money. He was respected on the yard. He was stomped down. So I don't know about what's going on the internet. I don't get involved in that because the individual that I know that I can vouch for personally was stomped down. So I don't listen to nothing else. I don't know anything else. I don't concern myself with anything else. People be saying, how come you haven't attacked Dubs? Dubs is PC. First of all, those not my politics, bro. He a Southside. And, Spider Lok helped me out when I got on YouTube a lot. Got me to interview really with Cam Capone. And Dubs helped me out a lot. My former friend, bro, my friend, you know what I'm saying, from years ago. Decades. So Dubs being drugged through the mud on YouTube for years now, especially the last 1 year or so, it's been intense on him. People have been coming at me, want me to do the same thing. I wonder why I've never gotten involved and made a video disparaging him or whatever. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm not going to do it to satisfy anyone. I know him, and I'm not going to throw him under the bus, bro. Take it or leave it. So I respect Spider Lok, never getting involved in that nonsense going on in his name. In fact, I'm about to do an interview with him on Black Box. Pull up to the Black Box. Saying, what's up, bro? Holla at me. Tapped in, said, let's do an interview. Yeah, for sure, let's do it. He was there for me when I got on. And Bobby Ye, I respect you as well. I respect Bobby Ye as well. I don't know a lot about that individual. Again, I know he's from PJ Watts. I've talked about him a couple of times on the channel. I've watched some of his content. He certainly defends black people. He's a stand-up individual in the community. So you get my respect off the dribble based on that. Just off the top. He's also an intelligent brother, articulate, and he seems to stand on business. Again, I don't know him personally, but he seems to stand on business. He hasn't given me any reason not to respect him. He's given me reasons to respect him. Because like I say, I don't just go around respecting everyone or saying that I respect everyone. It's just not that simple. I don't disrespect anyone. I'm not going to respect you if you haven't earned my respect. But these three individuals have. And we're all brothers. We're all trying to just do content, trying to get on, trying to be successful the best way we know how, trying to work hard, be committed. There's enough people coming at us in our culture and our way of life everywhere in the world, everywhere around the world. We've covered some of it. We're despised and hated everywhere. So far be it from me to get on the internet and denigrate or castigate another brother who's just trying to make it and be successful as well. I may have in the past said some things about individuals because, again, I am imperfect. But I'll be careful with my content because I don't want to disparage any brother who's just trying to make it as well, because other people see this and it's just embarrassing. And they say, these people can't get along. They can't do anything. They can't come together and find a way to get to the bag. Work together, put y'all mind together and figure out some content, a podcast or something. Come together and help the community with a podcast with some insightful content on this podcast coming from you 4, 5, 6 individuals. Be fascinating, but they can't come together and do nothing but beef with each other. No, I don't want to be a part of that. So that's not what this is about whatsoever. Again, I respect all of you brothers, and certainly not going to have any back and forth with any of you. There's no reason to. I have nothing against you all. And I just wanted to clarify that, real quick, because again, I've seen some of the comments that you all have been making on your channels regarding this whole 50-50 mess nonsense and what have you. And again, in some situations sort of implying as if, I was walking my comments back, or like I wasn't standing on what I should have been standing on. And I just want you all to recognize, the real, that separate the internet from real life. What's being said on the internet or whatever is one thing, but in real life, I damn sure stand on business. I damn sure stood on it. I walked it. I walked it off, bro. I walked down 25 years on level 4 yard. Vicious ass level 4 yards. Vicious, bro. Vicious. Shit keeps me up at night sometimes. I swear to God. Today it does. It was so miserable. It was so violent. I've seen so much. I haven't even scratched the surface on my channel. I haven't given y'all 2% of this information. Not even 2. Some stuff I can't talk about because it gives me nightmares. So it's just intolerable for me to have to sit back and listen to some individuals who've never been there for 25 days, telling someone who was there for 25 years to stand on some kind of business. I can't have this conversation no more. I'm cool. I'm out of it. I'm cool. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't have this conversation with individuals who haven't walked that yard. Because individuals who have walked that yard, who are stomped down, I don't have to explain anything to them. They already know. They know what I did. They know who I am. I know who they are. And they know what we all been through. We have a certain unspoken camaraderie. If you've walked those yards, we give each other a certain respect off the dribble because we already know what we've been through, and we made it through it. Without smutting our names, without smutting ourselves, we have a certain love for each other. I don't give a damn where you from. I don't care if you're a South Sider and a black. You see each other in the store, in the mall, What's up, man? What's up, man? I got out of prison, level 4 yard. Yeah, it's automatic love between y'all. Because it's like, man, you made it out of that shit. Whoa. Without, doing something you were not supposed to do. Hat off to you, bro. And there's nothing wrong with having not walked the yard. In fact, just the opposite. It's admirable. When Big Tony says he's been out of prison for, 30 years, man, that's a blessing. I hope to get there. When Spider's been out since 1999, my dumb self kept going back. These dudes been out for decades. That's a blessing, bro. So I'm not glorifying a level 4 yard. It's best to be on the street since 1999 and 1996 or the 80s than being on a level 4 yard since 1999 and 1996 and since the 80s. No, sir. So I take my hat off to y'all for that. You've been able to stay on the streets and maintain your freedom for that long. That's a blessing, as I'm sure you all know. So I'm certainly not minimizing that because you may not have been to a 4 yard. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Please, no one go. Stay out of there. Do not hit the 4 yard if you don't have to. It'll give you nightmares. I respect that. 10 trillion%. So don't mistake what I'm saying here. But I'm just saying that unfortunately, in my case, that wasn't the case for me. I had to walk those yards off. And since I did have to do that, I don't want to hear from someone who didn't have to do that, who didn't do it. That's all. You feel me? Shit. To preaching to me about how to stay down or stand on business. You talking to the wrong one, bro. You talking to the wrong one. You talking to the wrong guy. You're talking to the wrong individual about that. I don't know what everybody else been doing and what they did. I ain't about to keep going back and forth on this internet about what everyone else did behind the walls. I stood on business from start to finish. Every yard, every county jail, every module in the county jail, bro. Period. That's all I know. So don't come at me telling me to stand on no business. If you ain't walked a mile in these shoes, I don't want to hear it. That's all I'm saying. Nevertheless, as I said, I respect you, brothers. Let's do our content. Let's get along. I don't have any problem with any of y'all not responding. Y'all have something to say back. Say what you got to say. I'm not responding. It's no back and forth. I'm done with this topic. I'm done. I just explain why I'm done. If you ain't walked the yard, I ain't talking to you about the yard. I'm done. And if you have walked the yard, I ain't got to talk to you about it. You already know what's up. So there's nothing to talk about. I'm done. This is a wrap. Trying to get to part 2 of the worst ride I've ever been in. I can't even get to it. See if I can get that for y'all right now. See if I can get out of this mind state. Let me regroup real quick and try to get into that story, man. Get into part 2 of that. I got to go do something. That's why I only dropped one video yesterday. Trying to clear my mind, refocus, regroup, get my energy back right, and get back on here and run my content, So I regroup tomorrow morning, Monday morning, get back on here and push out, my normal amount of videos tomorrow. Believe that, people. Yeah, this is for real. But shout out to all you brothers, Bobby Ye, Big Toon, and Spider Lok. Hey, again, I respect y'all. I like what y'all doing. Y'all working hard. Y'all trying. We all are, bro. Y'all trying to navigate this stuff and figure it out. Find our lane and try to be successful in our lane. Be committed, be dedicated, work hard, have good morals and good ethics, and we'll succeed in the end, bro. So that's it, man. Make sure I'm not leaving anything out. That's pretty much it. I don't want to carry on and on. Stay safe and stay free, people.